What we have here is a polycorder global satellite positioning equipment. This is our antenna that talks to satellites across the horizon, and we've got a unit here that's actually the transmitter for the computer, and then the handheld computer itself that tells us if we are logging or not. Okay, we've got our equipment starting up here. We go to GPS status. That's global positioning status. Hit enter. Then we go to satellite vector selection and hit enter. Now it tells us there's no global positioning system time yet from the satellite, so we have to wait for the satellites to start communicating with this computer. Up here at the top, it'll come up and give us the number names of the usable satellites. Okay, there's satellite number 22, 14, and 29. We have 3 usable satellites. We have to have at least 3 usable satellites, and the positioning PDOP has to be less than 6 or it will not properly work. Okay, now that we're talking with the satellite, we hit the escape mode, and then we'll go down to data logging. Go up one, hit data logging, and press enter. Okay, now we're going to go into the log mode and press enter. Oh, hang on. Data logging, press enter. Oh, log mode, enter. Okay, then we go down. If you watch the arrow right here, it'll jump down to number 1 for logging rover. Now when we hit log rover and hit enter, then it'll come up and ask us for a file name. What we're going to do is, since we're standing on top of a tailing pile, what you have to do here to use letters is you have to hit your shift button as many times as the letter is positioned over. For a tailing pile, we got a T in the middle here, so we hit 2 times, 1, 2, then hit the T. Okay, and we need A, so we hit it once, because A is the first letter on this button. Okay, then we need an I, which is the 3rd letter on this button, and then an L, which is the 3rd letter on this button. And let's see, P, 1, I is 3, whoops, I made a mistake there, 1, 2, 3, I, and then L is 3, and then an E is 2, because it's the 2nd letter over on this button. Tail pile. Okay, then we hit enter, and the logging is turned on. Then we go up to escape mode, and we go back to global status, satellite status here, SV selection. Now this unit should beep if it's getting proper information from the satellite. It's doing the position fixes now. 3 usable satellites, and it started beeping. So it's actually logging in the exact position of where we're standing on the Earth. We let it log, do its fixes for a minute. You notice they have 3-dimensional fixing here. Okay, then after a minute or so, couple minutes you get a few beeps, you'll know that the information is properly stored. Then you press your escape button to get out of this mode, and we'll go back to GPS status, getting out of there, escape when finished. Then we go down to number 5, oops, excuse me, to data logging. We press enter. Then we go to log mode, press enter. Then we go to 0 for logging off to tell the satellite that we're done receiving information from it. Press enter. And that has turned us off. So we're no longer talking with the satellite. So now what we can do is we can go up and look at data file management, press enter, and it'll come up with several different things here. Transmit server, list files, or erase all files. What we're going to do is we're going to list all the files that we've picked up this morning. Okay. Zone 39, Coachman Mine, the Arasta. And if you look down here in the bottom, this tells you the size of the file. So if it comes up with a 0, you know your satellite didn't tell you anything. Now here's a second shot of the same Arasta. We named it B-Rasta, so we would know it was our second file. In one of the caves we went to this morning, we numbered that, named that cave 0001. It's got 4,993 bytes of information in that file. That's the file size. And then the location that we just did here on camera with our tail file, it's 5,289 bits of information. So basically, that's it for using the global satellite positioning equipment. Now, what we do when we get back to the office, okay, we'll turn it off. Go ahead and turn it off here now. It tells you the logging is off, and it auto logs off of the satellite so that they can be used by other equipment. What we do when we get back to the office is we disconnect this cord, and with patch cords we can patch this into the mainframe computer at the Forestry Service Ranger's office, feed all of this information into the computer. It will translate the information, and it will actually print out a topographical map with all of these locations for the various things we've charted this morning. It will print those out on a topographical map, and we'll be able to use that for future information to relocate these different areas that we've logged. And the equipment, this polycorder can also be used if someone gets a map from the Forestry Service that we have charted stuff on. They can use one of these positioning systems to come out here and actually go around the forest, set their antenna up, talk to the satellite, and the satellite will tell them which way to go to get to this exact spot right there in the ground where this antenna was just standing. And it's really, really useful information. It's a very useful piece of equipment. Very expensive piece of equipment. Now this piece of equipment was loaned to us from the Forestry Service. When you get on their good side, they'll give you anything you want. Just ask them. Not really, but it's nice. It's a lot of fun. We've been out here today. We located a couple old mines and an old Arasta here in the Sumter National Forest in South Carolina. And we really enjoy it out here. It's a lot of fun. We're not always prospecting when we're out in the forest. We do a lot of scouting. We found an old tree today that had a bar of steel going through it. Somebody laid in the crotch of the tree. We'll show you that a little bit later. But it was near the Coachman's mine. Somebody laid it in the crotch of a tree, and over 100 years the tree grew around it, so now it's a permanent fixture of the tree. So that's all for now. Until next time, have a good one.